Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the multiplayer server. Sorry I had to take that little bit of a break. I had to go and sort out dinner, so I had to take a break. But everybody else is now sorted and fed, so hopefully no more interruptions this evening, which means I can focus now on the farming. Now, I've done the straw. So, gotta quickly fertilise this field, I think. Then I can start ploughing it with my new plough that I got just before I went for my lunch, my dinner. Be lunch as well, seeing as I haven't had any lunch today. Or breakfast. So yes, if you weren't here for the earlier stream that I did, I did the soybean straw collection off field 11, and I chose to do it using the baler in the end. I did one load with the loading wagon and was like, this is going to take me forever. So I decided to bale all the loose straw, and then I took the bales to sell at the animal dealer, got rid of the bales, which gave us quite a nice bit of money in the account, I'm not going to lie. From there, what I proceeded to do was pay 100 grand off the loan, because I noticed we hadn't paid any off the loan for the last 2 days. So I've done that, and then I sold our cultivator and our culti plough. The culti plough we hadn't really used, apart from me. I think I used it the first day on the map to take care of the field that needed ploughing. We didn't have a plough at the time. Mr. Helgi then subsequently bought a plough, so that kind of made the culti plough a bit redundant. We did that. So what I've done instead, I bought us a nice new cultivator, which is from the Bourgeot DLC. Nice 12.2 metre, I think it's 12.2 metre. Cultivator, which should make cultivating jobs a little bit less painful now, because obviously an extra 4 meters is going to make the jobs a bit quicker. Fortunately, I didn't check to see if this needed fertilizer before I started this job, so I need to go and refill it. I need to go buy some more fertilizer. Didn't check on the chickens earlier either, which I probably should have done. See how they're doing for water and stuff. They're okay for food. They could probably do with water. My next earliest convenience. But anyway, I'll get this field fertilised. Field 11, which had the soybeans on it, also needs to be fertilised and then cultivated prior to its next seeding. But I'm going to leave that for the time being, see if Mr. Helgi fancies that. If he logs in tonight. He might not play this evening. He might have decided he's done enough farm sim this week and leave me to it. In which case, after I've done the ploughing and got this field seeded, I can then go and fertilise and cultivate that field over there. and then I can get that field seeded, and then I can come back and then do a bit of harvesting, because there are 3 fields that need harvesting, but I'm not tempted to do them at the moment, because ideally I want to try and get the field spread out a bit. I want them to be at different steps and stages. Otherwise it just gets a little bit samey. Every field needs the same thing doing to it at the same time, which means you spend just a whole day doing one thing, and that isn't good for any player. It's nice to have a variety of different jobs you can jump to after you've done a job. Jump to something completely different, you know. Make sure I've loaded my sprayer. I think there was some crop destruction has occurred on this field, looking at some of the tyre marks. Mr. Hoagie may have had some bad luck doing the corn in a couple of places. But it looks like we made good money from it though. We made good money from... I don't think... I'm not sure if he sold any corn. That's the only thing. I haven't spoken to him, because we seem to have an awful lot of corn in the silo currently. I'm guessing he sold the straw, because there wasn't any on this field for me to pick up. I'm guessing that all got sold, collected and sold. As I say, earlier on I was looking at a couple of options for ploughs. I ended up buying the 5-section John Deere because it was cheap. I did also look at that one. I thought about that one, which allows you to apply lime at the same time, but you know, 197 grand when we've got a lime spreader seemed a bit excessive. And then there was one other option in this category where you had a fertiliser spreader. I thought, being able to plough and apply fertiliser at the same time might be nice. But again, I didn't want to spend 250 grand on that machine, so ultimately I went with the tool that I did. I have got some silage baking away over here from some straw. So that's good. I think there's about 150 odd thousand litres of silage, or there will be when the machine's finished. Now I think I've got enough horsepower in this tractor for this next job. Have a look. Magnum, is it that one? Yeah. 451 horsepower. And this plough requires 400. I've got a spare 51 horsepower. It's okay. So yeah, I can get this field ploughed then, because this is, like I say, field 4 does need it. Look at the crop status. And it is going nicely. Working away very smoothly. Good evening, Mr. Helgi. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for taking this time out of your Saturday evening to come and watch me play Farm Sim. The same goes to anyone else lurking out there who's yet to say hello in the chat. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to tonight's stream. And thank you for taking your time to come and watch me playing some Farm Sim. As I was saying earlier when I was doing the stream this afternoon, it seems like Farm Sim is the only thing people want to watch me play just lately. Because I was having a look this morning on my YouTube statistics, monthly YouTube report, and pretty much if I did a video on YouTube this month that wasn't Farm Sim, nobody watched it. So like all my Mafia videos that I've done this week, nobody's bothered to watch any of those. I think only one person has watched the Formula 1 video that I posted this morning. So I'm like, oh, people just want to watch me play Farm Sim. They don't like me playing anything else. Mr. Helgi could not play earlier because he had visitors. That's okay, Mr. Helgi. You're welcome to have time off. You played last night and did quite a lot from what I've seen. So, you know. That's quite okay. I don't pressurise anybody to play. I want people to enjoy themselves on the farm. Right, now I've got a bit of room, I can just zip up and down the field. Would not take me long at all. Well, shouldn't take me all that long. At least then this field is ready to reseed. And then obviously field 11 needs to be fertilised, cultivated before it can be seeded. That shouldn't take too long either, because obviously our sprayer's pretty quick at chucking down the fertiliser. Now we've got a bigger cultivator, it shouldn't take too long. Cultivate that field. And then once those fields are seeded, we can have a look at the harvesting that needs to be done on some of the other fields. Starting with obviously field 9, which has been sat there for a couple of days. Like I say, I got the straw collected. The soybean straw was collected and sold earlier. Got all that done. With the exception of one bale, I could not sell one bale because the baler would not give it to me. There's a bale in the baler about 97% full, and the baler wouldn't give it to me, so it's got to stay in there until we pick something else up with it, and then we'll get a soybean bale come out of it first. Is nice. I see a green fent on the edge of the field. What do I want to plant on this field? I would like to plant on this field. It's a big field. I would like to go oats next, Mr. Helgilly. And I'm going to jump in the Discord. Oats would be nice, because they're worth a bit of money, usually.
Yeah, I put the corn in the silo because it was not worth anything.
Did wonder that. I was wondering. I looked at what was sitting around the farm and that, and I thought, oh, there's quite a lot of corn in the silo. I wonder if Mr. Helgi sold any. And now I have my answer. No, you didn't. Which means all the money you made was purely from the soybeans, which was very impressive, because that was a lot of money.
Yeah, it was soybeans, I think, that made a lot of money.
I got the soybean straw done earlier. Got all that sold. Paid off a bit of the loan. Bought 2 pieces of equipment. Then I put some straw in the silage machine because there was a lot of straw in the silo. And I was like, that would be worth changing over to silage, and then that can go to the BGA sometime. Then I got interrupted because I had to do the dinner, sort out everybody's dinner, so that kind of stopped me earlier on, and now I've logged back in tonight to carry on.
So you picked up all the straw and everything?
Yeah, did that as soon as I logged in this afternoon. I did one load with the loading wagon and thought, fucking hell, this is going to take me all day. So then I decided to bale the rest of the field and sold all the bales instead. Because obviously the loading wagon only holds 68,000 litres, so when that got full, because I can't store it anywhere because it won't go in the silo or anything, the only thing I could do with it was take it to the animal place and sell it. And I thought, man, if I have to keep bringing every single trailer, every time I get 68,000, I've got to bring it to the animal dealer, it's going to take me ages to sell all this straw. So I was like, I'm going to bale it, and then I'm going to pick the bales up and sell the bales, because I can transport more bales than I can loose straw in one go. So that's what I did. And as I say, the baler just unfortunately would not release the last bale to me because it was only 97% full. There's some straw left in it.
So you bought a new cultivator and a new plow?
Yep. Sold the old cultivator and the yellow multi-plough thing, the subsoiler. I sold that, bought a new plough and bought a bigger cultivator. I got the cultivator from the Bourgeot DLC, which is 12.2 meters.
Not bad.
Not bad. Slightly high power requirement though, 500 horsepower. Means your tractor and the yellow Challenger are the only two on the farm that can pull it. Even my fancy Magnum won't pull that cultivator, but it will pull the plough, which is a bit weird, because the plough is obviously going much deeper in the ground.
Yeah.
Than the cultivator, which kind of just tickles the surface of a field. I did have a couple of options. I was looking at the different options for ploughs, and I was like, trying to weigh up what to go for. It was for a couple of them, the price went up quite a lot. The one I've got now only cost 95 grand. There was one that was like 247.
That's expensive.
It is. But it was 18 meters wide, and it allowed you to put fertilizer on at the same time as you were ploughing.
Oh.
But for 247 grand, I thought that's a bit steep.
We have a nice fertilizer, so...
Yeah. And then there was another variation of the same machine, which was 197,000, which would let you do lime at the same time as you were ploughing. And again, I thought that's a nice option, but again, does it really justify an extra 100,000 for that capability when we already have a nice lime spreader?
We have bought some milk homogenizer for our many cows.
Yes, for our many, many cows. Or when we eventually have cows. I could invent some kind of role-play story that we got a discount on it because we bought the potato washer and steamer at the same time. My light bulb's about to go. I don't know if you can see that on the stream. You probably can't. Let me turn that light off, and then it probably looks like I'm in a disco now, because my light's going on and off all by itself. Now it's stopped. There's either ghosts in this house or the wiring's bad. I've got poltergeist or the wiring's bad.
Your new graphics card is draining the power.
Yeah.
Your 2390 Sly and your 1600 watt power supply.
Unfortunately, I don't have the 3090. or 2 of them in SI, because unfortunately MSI bought them all.
Yeah, I heard that story. Yeah.
They scalped all of Nvidia's graphics cards and then sold them under a different company name on eBay. Scumbags.
At 1,500.
Yeah. What scumbags?
Yeah, that was just some rogue guy who did it.
Still, doesn't send out a good message, does it, people?
Nope.
It's bad, especially when they're already coming off the obviously the bad news that their graphics cards have got cheap inferior capacitors in them.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just a rip-off. But it damages the reputation more than it makes money.
yeah.
As soon as I heard it, I ripped out my MSI motherboard.
It was like, I'm not prepared to have a graphics card from a company that would be so anti-consumer. Is that what you did? Is that what you said?
Yeah, great.
I did watch a bit of Millennial Farmer this afternoon as well. He's done his first video of driving the X9 harvester.
Okay.
Doing his corn harvesting, or starting his corn harvest, and obviously on the first bit that you see of it, obviously he doesn't know that much in the video that he's released today. He doesn't know, he still doesn't know everything about the machine yet, which is why he's not saying too much about what's good and bad about it and stuff. He's not doing a review just yet. But he had the John Deere guy there, obviously making sure all the settings were set up properly for the field he was doing, for the corn and everything. And then he was driving, and he says straight away, he says, "Wow, this is some machine." He says, because he says, "Never have I ever been able to harvest corn," he says, "on this field," he says, "at this stage in the year, so early in the harvest window," he says, "with the corn as wet as it currently is," he says, "never have I been able to harvest it with a 40-foot header whizzing along," he says, "at 6.5 miles per hour. And he says, "Look at that." He looks over his shoulder through the window. He says, "Look at how clean that corn is in that bin." He says, "I've never seen corn that clean." He says, and the John Deere guy says, "There's nothing coming out the back." He says, "So we're not losing anything." He says, "Already, I have to say, I'm very impressed," he says.
Yeah.
"It's definitely doing what it's advertised to do," he says, "this machine." He says, and also, he says, the capacity on it, he says, it's brilliant. He says, I can get more rows done before I have to give Onyx a shout to come and empty me, he says. Because he's got he normally uses an S790. Is it a 790?
I don't know.
I think it's the one we've got. Yeah, the S790 is the one that's in this game, but his is a 2011 model, so it's quite a bit old. The first thing he was impressed by when he was using the X9 was the fact that it has a camera on the end of the pipe.
On the pipe?
On the end of the pipe, so you can see where the trailer is and whether you're over it or not for unloading. He says, "We don't have that on our harvester." He says, "That's fantastic." And then he found out the pipe was adjustable as well, so you could change the angle of the pipe, so you could throw the corn out a bit further if you wanted to. He says, again, we don't have that on our machine.
Yeah.
And then when he started unloading, he couldn't believe how fast it unloaded compared to his old machine. He's like, it's amazing.
Must be a modded version.
Yeah. He says, it's amazing. He says, the only downside is it's that fast to unload. He says, it means I've got to start harvesting again. It means I haven't got time to sit here and drink me drink, he says, and eat me sandwiches.
Yeah.
He says, that's no good.
That's a disadvantage.
He says, I ain't got time. He says, I ain't got time to refuel, he says. He says, I'm also not going to be able to listen to a lot of podcasts.
But he can do it after work.
Then I saw the Welkers thing as well today. That was nasty. What happened there?
Did they have an accident or something?
Yeah, leg arms. He had a massive accident
Oh,
whilst he was repairing one of their big bud tractors. It fell on him
oh my God.
and crushed all his right arm.
That's terrible.
He was trying to repair the tow bar on the back of it because they'd been having problems with it, and obviously it's like 40 years old. It was bent. It was starting to crack in some places. So he's like, I've really got to take this off. He says, get it off the tractor, and then I can start looking at getting it repaired and patched up and stuff. But the thing he wanted to do first of all was get it straightened. No, I don't know whether you've ever seen the tow bar on a big bud up close.
No.
But it's like a plate that's like 6 foot long. It's 4 inches high by about 6 inches deep. Solid steel. It's like a great big massive plate of, say, steel, like 4 inches thick, 6 inches deep, 6 foot long. And that was bent, and he was trying to straighten that. And to try and straighten it, what he thought he would do is he jacked the tractor up on it, and then he was applying heat to it to try and so it would soften, and the weight of the tractor would then bend it back straight. But obviously something went wrong during that process, and he ended up then under the tractor with it sat on him, or sat on his arm.
Jesus. He's now in hospital, or?
Oh yeah, he's in hospital. He's had to have major surgery because he did all muscles and everything.
Oh my God.
I mean, you get a big bud.
It's not called leg arms anymore, it's only called leg arm.
Yeah, leg arm now. Now he's only got the one. Yeah, if you want something to fall on you, your first choice wouldn't be a big bud tractor because they are massive. And they are just solid. They're just solid steel. You know, the plate thickness on those machines is massive, incredible. You know, they're built to be rugged machines, solid, heavy duty, heavy going. You certainly don't want one.
They didn't have to the methods to calculate it exactly, so they rather made it more heavy.
That's probably put a bit of a spanner in the works for them. I don't know if they'd finished their harvest or not this year. I think they'd finished harvesting. Welkers. Sure, they said they in their video that they'd done harvesting.
They probably have, because why would you do some repairs when they are in the middle of harvesting?
Well, Legos was saying they'd actually got something coming up that they needed the big bud for, so they had to get it fixed.
Okay.
They've got something coming up in the next few days or the next week or two that required that big bud, and they had to get it up and running again. So they needed that tow bar fixing. Obviously, Hollywood and their old man, their dad, they would be capable of doing the harvesting. They wouldn't need leg arms. He was in the shed trying to fix the big bud. Put it on himself.
I wouldn't want any tractor to drop on my arm, actually.
Hmm.
On no part at all.
Work safe around these machines. I know Millennial Farmer at the minute, he's currently doing that campaign to raise money for first responders, isn't he?
For what?
To raise money for like first responders, the people that when people do have accidents and that on farm, they're the people that obviously get sent out first before you then get like fire brigades and stuff. So he's raising money for them so that they can be provided with equipment to help farmers. Specifically, I think he's on about the people who fall into grain bins and stuff. Rescue people who have fallen into the grain bins and become trapped.
What would you want to plant on this field where you are right now?
This big field, just done soybeans, haven't we? Before that, it was...
And corn?
Corn.
I think on this field was corn, wasn't it?
Yeah, corn. It started off as corn. What are we thinking? Canola, maybe? Another high-yielding crop that will give us some straw? That makes good money?
Yes, why not?
I was just trying to think of all the different things. I thought, well, if we plant corn again, that means we'd then have to plough the field after we've done it. If we did sunflowers, we'd have to lime and plough. I think what crops would make life easy for us? I mean, unless you wanted to do potatoes or something.
No, not yet.
Not yet. To be honest, I think that field...
Yeah, when I have done these fields, and then I saw the other fields were also ready to harvest, I said, oh, can't do it anymore.
That's kind of that's why I thought I would leave those. I will happily get those fields harvested myself at some point, give you a bit of a break from the harvesting, because it seemed I feel like you've just done loads of harvesting the last couple of days.
I mean, I can do harvesting today, of course, but yesterday it was just not.
Because you did the sunflowers on Thursday night. You did the corn and soybeans last night. I was like, I'm pretty sure Mr. Helgi won't want to do harvesting 3 days in a row. So I thought, at least if I can get these fields worked, I can do something a bit different. Bit of a break. Also, it will spread the fields out a bit.
It does.
Because otherwise, if we just went and harvested those fields, then all the fields would want cultivating, fertilising and seeding at the same time, which means then they'll all want harvesting at the same time. Whereas at least now, these two fields are going to have a chance to get a little bit separated. Obviously, we're going to change the crop on field 9. We're going to plant alfalfa on that, which means we're not going to have to harvest that and do that one again in the future, because that will just keep regrowing then.
Oh, you sowed the hedges around this field, I saw.
Field 12, yeah. I wondered if you'd noticed that.
I did. And I was hoping you were selling it around field 9.
I can't.
To get in with the harvest.
There is no... sadly, you can't sell the hedges around field 9. There's not an option. I did sell some hedges around fields 1 and 2, but I didn't really notice what difference that made. I couldn't really see what difference there was there. Unless it just removed a little bit of hedge from like next to the barn between 1 and 2 as like the vertical hedge
to get in.
And if that's the case, then I'm like, it's not really much of a hedge to remove, is it? Because the only thing that would allow you to do would be to join fields 1 and 2 together into one longer field. Once you took 2 trees out of the way. Don't really see much point in doing that. Because again, somewhere down the line, once we've expanded a bit and we own more land and more fields, I think fields 2 and 3 are kind of the right sort of size to be used for like sugar beet and potatoes.
Yeah.
Where it won't be too demanding. Seed them and harvest them. Mr. Helgi's going to be lightning McQueen with that cedar.
What do I do?
I said you're going to be lightning McQueen with that cedar. Rocketing along at 20 odd kilometres an hour. You soon catch me up, you know. I can only do 15.
Hurry up.
I've also got to make sure I don't go cultivating where you've seeded. Means I might now have to go back up the field and do a row up the field because you haven't given me a lot of room. What I want to do is drop this down and cultivate.
You also should have fertilized first, I think.
Well, yeah, I did think about that, but then I thought we can always spray this field then when it's in its first growth stage.
Yeah.
That's not too bad with the sprayer. We did that with the soybeans and it worked okay. Oh, it's struggling now, this tractor. Come on, up the hill. Come on, you can do it. That was hard work. This is a big field.
Yeah, I noticed when I harvested.
This is a big field. How's your day been then, Mr. Helmy? A
Oh,
nice
it was
Saturday?
good. Seeing my son and daughter-in-law. Yeah, and their son. It was quite nice. You're missing pizza. And the day was not bad. We had some sun.
Yeah, it was a bit wet and foggy yesterday in Germany from what I could see. Trying to watch the Formula One.
It depends where you are, but it was not so nice yesterday.
It was bloody
Today,
awful yesterday.
okay.
Didn't get any driving at all in yesterday at Nürburgring. Helicopter couldn't fly because the weather was that bad.
It was also windy, yeah. Still a little windy, but not that bad.
Better day today. Bit cold though, everybody was saying when I was watching the Formula One. Saying it was very cold.
Yes, it will be cold tomorrow as well.
They were having, the drivers were struggling to keep the tyres warm.
It will be colder tomorrow, definitely. If the weather forecast is right.
Of course, Nico Hulkenberg was the superstar again for Racing Point. It's at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, is the other guy still in isolation?
Stroll is. He went in. Yeah, he went into isolation today.
Oh,
Lance Stroll. So Nico Hulkenberg got a call at 11 o'clock this morning saying that they needed him to be their number 2 driver. And at the time, he was in Cologne with his friends. So he's had to quickly jump in his car at 11 o'clock, drive all the way to Nürburgring, where he got there just in time for qualifying. Jumped straight in the car with no practice, didn't know the track.
Well, he probably knows this track.
No surprise he qualified last. But at least they have 2 cars in the race tomorrow. Because he made it there. But what a time for the guy to turn around to the team and say, I don't feel very well, I'm not going to race today. 11 o'clock. Right before practice. He should have told him yesterday he didn't feel very well.
Yeah.
Of course, Mercedes had the problem because they had one of their guys test positive for corona when they arrived on Wednesday. And then they had another team member test positive on Thursday. And then
it's normal that you then not just have one guy, you must have had an issue with corona, and then you have more people.
Well, that's what happened on Friday. Then they found out some of their other mechanics who were with the guy who tested positive on the Wednesday were also positive. So they ended up taking the whole mechanic team out, putting them in isolation, and they've had to fly out in a reserve crew overnight, take care of the pit stops in tomorrow's race.
It's the only way. It's the only way to do. I mean,
brand new team. It's not actually done a race yet. It's not actually been a race pit stop team. So it's going to be a baptism of fire tomorrow for them. In what looks to be...
And Hamilton got a penalty for that?
Probably. I'm sure the stewards will think of...
You cannot change the team. You cannot change the team in the middle of the season, penalty.
You can't change the team. You can't change your team after they've crossed this white line, while this light is flashing this colour at this hour of the day.
Yeah.
That's how they'll penalise him.
Should have read the small print.
I like it though. I like it this week in the race director's notes under the area about practice starts and stuff. It's interesting that this week, not only has he put where, specifically exactly where, and that you must do your practice starts at the line indicate in the box that's been specially painted, but he's also put photos of said box this week. So I kind of get the feeling he kind of does admit that last week his race notes were a little bit vague and a little bit open to interpretation, and you know, so this week he's definitely tried to close off all loopholes by saying there's a specific box that everybody must do their practice start in, and here's a photo of the box showing you where it is. So you can't possibly make a mistake.
Maybe he overdid it a little now.
Yeah, he's probably overdone it a little bit this week, but I do like it. Or there'll be people that are trying to find exploits and loopholes in other things.
And how are you feeling today?
I'm I'm okay, yeah. I'm okay.
Good.
I was up very early today, which was quite a surprise for me. So it's been a long day, one of my longest days so far in the last week. I was awake at about 6 o'clock this morning. Didn't have many hours sleep either last night, but I was up and awake, and then had to do a few bits and pieces around the house this morning while everybody else went out and did some shopping and stuff. And then when they come home, I've sat and watched the Formula 1, and then I did a bit of farming after that finished. Then I had dinner, which was nice. Now I'm doing a bit more farming.
What header did you lease last time? Is this the Cressoni?
The Cressoni, and I
The
think
largest one?
the largest one of the three, yeah.
7 meter.
It fits through that field, that gate, just nicely. Yeah, my Saturday's been good. Didn't have any interruptions this afternoon, so that was nice. There was no football matches that my dad wanted to go to, so it was magic. Don't think he's got a match. I don't think his club's got a match until next Saturday, so that's nice. My club doesn't play till next Saturday evening. But I can't watch them because they're going to be on pay-per-view. Because obviously that's the great big wonderful thing that all the Premier League clubs in England decided to do yesterday.
What?
Was make all their matches on pay-per-view.
It's the only way to make money today.
Oh yeah, but you know, I don't think the Premier League clubs are really that struggling for money. Especially when you think in the last week they've just spent $1.5 billion between them on new players and over 200 million on agent fees. And then they want to charge fans $14.95 to watch every match.
Yeah.
Not going to happen. Not for me. I'm not paying. I pay a bloody enough. It's not like you can even go down the pub and watch the football because they've got to kick you out before 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, because of Corona, that is not happening.
Yeah, one of the pubs in my town got closed on Friday. The police had already been in a couple of times over the course of the week and noticed that they were still open after 10 p.m. with people inside stuff, and then they went in Friday night at 10:30 and they were still open, still serving people. So they were like, that's it, closing you down. The pub was like, oh, we didn't know he had to be closed by 10 o'clock. Yeah, as if. It's only been on the news for several weeks beforehand. Boris Johnson gave that great big speech on telly about it.
Yeah. Also higher numbers in Germany, mostly in the big cities, because the people don't care. Also the young people that go to school and They, I mean, they wear masks in the train, but as soon as they get off, they don't keep the distance and everything. They hug, they shake hands and everything.
It's a weird thing as well.
It's so
Yeah.
cool. It's so
That was
cool.
again something
You have to
else.
hug when you're a young guy, you know.
That was something else again. I noticed there was a TV program on one night this week on one of our TV channels with this woman who she's normally a presenter on a daytime program or co-presenter type thing, but because of obviously COVID and stuff, she hasn't been part of the daytime TV show and stuff. They've only had like the main presenters still doing the show over the course of the summer. So what she decided to do, she was going to go back to school and brush up on her history and stuff, and you know, improve her history knowledge. And the TV producers and everything, well, that's a good idea. We could send a camera along with her as she goes back to school to learn all about history and stuff. So then there's this there in this TV program. She wanders into this school, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this is going to be all right because obviously all the kids were in lockdown, so there's not going to be anybody there. It's just going to be a camera crew and a teacher. But the next minute, she's in a classroom with fucking loads of kids, none of them wearing masks. And I'm thinking to myself, that's not fucking great. That's not a good advert.
But they are not mixing the people, the pupils. They are staying in one class and stay separate. So if one class has COVID, then it's a lockdown for this class, but not for the whole school. That's how they do it in Germany, at least. But the little children, they don't care. I mean, it's... On Friday evening, I saw young girls in the train. They were meeting there and they were hugging each other. You don't give a damn.
I'll do long rows now. Thought the field was massive when I was doing the short bits, even longer now. Get the bit that I didn't quite manage to get first time. Row with the sticky out bit.
I think I'll harvest field 9 before you finish with this row.
No, you're harvesting as well. You're pulling double duty. I didn't notice.
No, I'm just starting.
I realised you were double duty.
If I find it. So how are our chickens doing?
They're doing okay, I think. They're doing okay. I did just have to move the corn header again. The combine, because it was giving me that message about no space for eggs.
Okay.
And it was parked outside the shed, so I just put it in the other shed.
I thought it was only the harvester that did this issue, but obviously not. Three fields of weeds. Looks like it.
No, no, it's just doing it. I'm on the wrong thing, that's why. I'm doing that. I was on the Apple Store. I was about to buy you an iWatch.
I want them latest iWatches.
Work without an iPhone because you can stick your SIM card in. That's why they're that's why they have a SIM. Oh, that's weird. Oh, it's coming up like that. Your news feed and everything's alright, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, they're probably either they need to do an update because your pad's updated recently. Hate software updates. I've got GeForce Experience wanting to do an update on my computer currently. I've got Windows wanting to do an update on my computer currently, and I'm like, nope, no thank you. Everything's working fine at the minute. Leave me alone. Yeah, look at that harvester churning through that lovely wheat. Lovely, lovely wheat time. It's a shame they don't do like a 18-metre version of that header.
Yeah.
Folding header in, you know, proper size. Because that would be great.
I mean, I could give it back now and take the other header, but because now I can enter the field.
You might as well do the rest of the field with it.
But it's not worth it. Yeah.
Buggering about. Plus, if you change to a wider header, then your rows would be different width. Which means then when it comes to picking up the straw doesn't line up properly.
I think it can be managed.
Like when I came to pick up the straw on this field, it was weird because there was like some straw going in this direction and there was straw going in the other direction. I was like, who's harvest this field in like 50 different
directions? Did I get you confused?
Yeah. I think I did 2 rows around the field and then I was like, okay, now I need to start going up and down instead.
When I did the corn, I was half through, then I thought, oh shit, I forgot the straw. It does produce straw, right? The corn?
Yeah, corn does, yeah.
I didn't remember.
So we didn't get corn straw? You didn't make any?
No, I didn't.
Then I tell you what, the soybeans did very well then to make as much money as they did. Because I looked at that money and thought, well, that's the
Yeah,
soybeans.
it was
income.
165,000.
I was like, that's got to be soybeans and corn straw that's made all that money. I didn't realise you didn't do any straw. That was all soybeans. That's even more impressive then. Makes my 114,000 for the bales that I sold look quite small.
Well, that's a lot of money for straw.
Let's do some vehicle repairs as well today. I had to refuel the truck. Again, been a good harvest, these two fields. Bye, crows. Seem to just move 5 feet and land on another bit of field. I've used half a tank of fuel so far on this field. Just doing a little bit of hard cultivated. Yeah, thirsty tractor.
Header returned.
Header returned. Awesome sauce.
Maybe it doesn't cost us anything.
We'll find out at 1700 hours when we get charged for vehicles and equipment. Field harvested. Awesome sauce. Pretty sure someone else says that. Here goes the fastest seeder in the West.
And we can plant Alfa Romeo on the field line.
Alfa Romeo, yeah.
What's it called?
Alfa Romeo.
Or Alf the Extraterrestrial.
When I'm at the track, they take my time. When I'm away from the track, I take mine. Alfa Romeo. It's a very repetitive advert, that.
A what?
It's an there's an advert on the telly for the Alfa Romeo.
Ah, okay.
And it has Kimi Räikkönen in it. And he goes, when I'm at the track, they take my time. But when I'm away from the track, I take mine. And he's at these traffic lights and this guy pulls up alongside him and he just waves him past. And he's just sat there in his Alfa.
Enjoying himself.
Yeah, just taking his time, very chilled out and relaxed. Typical Kimi.
Alfa Romeo is a nice car if it wasn't Italian.
If it wasn't made by Ferrari. Along with Fiat.
Speed seeding.
Nice cultivator, this. You get tangled up. Turn round with it without it going all funny and angled. More power, come on. Come on, Challenger. You can pull this, come on. I have a Fent behind me in a minute, and he'll be starting to look for blue flags. I'll wait there. He'll be like, blue flags, blue flags.
No, I think you'll be fine. I'm not that fast.
This field's quite slopey when you get up close to it.
Yeah.
I did notice today that Stevie's put the blank templates for this map and his latest Snetterton Forest map up on his page. If you ever wanted to have a go at creating your own map, but you wanted a good base to build on, there you go. He's done all the hard work for you. He's given you the template, a blank template to work from. Ever decide to get into map making, Mr. Helgi?
Nope. Well, it would be a 1 square field. And a farmhouse. And some placeable areas.
One sell point that accepts all.
I think these people are highly creative. They do these maps. It's unbelievable.
All the talented.
It's also like people that play what's it called? Transport Fever. And just creating maps with cities and tracks and stuff. Not playing the game, but just producing a map, you know. That is nice looking, yeah. Nice. They call it Schönbau, like built beautifully.
I saw a
But
video.
they are also creative.
I saw a video today from some woman who does that with Jurassic World Evolution.
Okay.
She plays that, and she builds some really nice looking parks and stuff. Nice paths, all properly decorated with trees and objects and everything.
Yeah, you can do
Doesn't
that.
necessarily do like the missions and putting in the dinosaurs and stuff like that, but
It's a sandbox, right?
yeah. All these creative little pathways and stuff. She was talking about the Jurassic World Evolution 2, the things that they should add to that game. Now it's been delayed for a year.
Is it coming? Is it planning?
Yeah,
Planned?
it was supposed to come out next year with the movie, but because the movie's been delayed till 2022, the game's been delayed as well. So she says now's the chance for them to go and do some.
Can't be released.
Yeah, now's the chance.
Otherwise, it would
spoil the movies.
Spoil something. Yeah.
So she says now's the chance for them to spend some time working on adding some different bits and bobs into the game.
Yeah. At least properly tested.
Yeah. Only seeding. Around like a lost chicken trying to find a combine harvester. But it's still on field 9. There it is. Very well worn case harvester. It's already got 18 hours on the clock. That's some mileage.
18?
18.5 hours, yeah, that's how much harvesting we've
That's
done
not-
already with this.
I would have thought it's more, but then it's just the harvesting time. You have to go through the gates. Watch out.
Ah, yeah, well thought of. I'd have got there and gone, it's like freaking gate there. No, I've got to take the header off again. Get into my fields. Won't sell those hedges, sadly.
It's fine this way.
But yeah, it looks like it sold the hedges, the hedge here. Which I don't really know if that offers you any advantage. Gives you a bit more room to turn around with a harvester, I suppose. Not like it's really needed, it's only a grass field part, right? Over a field of wheat. Field of wheat. I heard Corona in the background.
You see that? That's... I hardly heard it. But the microphone picks up everything. I like the noise cancelling headphones.
Cancelling for the win. Cancelling. This field feels very familiar. Feel like I've harvested this field before.
It was your test run field?
Yeah.
You know, every little
Every little
piece of
inch of this
grass,
field.
every little tree, every leaf on the tree.
I'm also surprised by how much I know about field 3 as well. Like, it's not actually like properly square or rectangular.
It is not?
No. It goes a bit wonky along the top edge, if you've noticed.
So on field 9 we want to plant alfalfa.
Yes. And then the next time I mow alfalfa on field 10, once it's been collected, I'm going to
Put
put
grass
grass
on it.
back on it, yeah. That'd be perfect. Where's the truck gone? Someone's driving it. Mr. Helge's got a truck. Coming to unload me.
Why is it not turning? It didn't turn. I was it's not steering. What's going on? Something wrong with my controller? Or?
Don't know. It was working fine for me earlier.
There was a spot here where it didn't turn. They call the straw from wheat straw.
Straw, yeah. Regular old straw. So all this straw can be chucked in the silage machine.
Where do you want to put it?
In the silage machine.
Okay.
Then it can be turned into silage, and then we can take it to the BGA and get lots of money for it. Because it's probably not very expensive. Straw's probably quite cheap. Make a lot of money. I meant to look up and see what the actual names are for the like the corn straw and soybean straw and that. What they're actually called in the mod. And then I could actually add them to a few more sell points. give us a bit of variety of where we can sell that stuff
Yeah.
to. Apart from just the farm barn and the animal dealer. They add it to the BGA with all the other stuff as well, because that makes kind of sense. BGA accepts every other kind of straw, so why wouldn't it accept those too? Forgot to do straw on that row. Oh well. Now I forgot that this crop does straw. Which is weird because I did it on the 5 rows previous. My issue is not long-term memory but short-term. My limited brain capacity. Well, the term that I've come to use more recently is mentally depreciated.
What do they do with all these mentally depreciated people? Because, I mean, there are not so many top management places, you know, or presidents of the United States spots.
Politicians. Government health ministers. Ministers. You're right. I think this truck isn't steering very well. Why is that?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it
But
because,
maybe it's a game issue.
is it because when I used it on the bale trailer, I pushed the thing back? Have I got the trailer too far away from the truck now and I can't adjust it with this particular trailer? Once this trailer's connected. I have to put the bale trailer back on. Also, I'll give a bit of this wheat to the chickens while I'm here. Or I then go to the silo, dump the rest.
Or you wait for the field 3. It's also wheat.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, screw me. I didn't realise. I thought it was barley or something. Oh, sorry about that. I could have harvested that at the same time then. Just done one trailer load of crops. Me not looking at the map. Me being mentally depreciated. That's what that is.
Well, I planted the fields, that's why I know.
Connect the header to drive through the gate, and then I've got to reconnect the header. Of course, the harvester does that thing where it has that one little and spits out a bit of straw just randomly, which is then nowhere near the rest of the straw, which means when you come to pick it up, you have to drive that extra little bit out of your way just to pick up that one little spot.
And I will do. Couldn't possibly leave this little spot untouched.
Yeah, you got to get all the little spots. Here he comes. Might have blocked the gate a bit with the truck.
Oh no, it's fine. Just waited for you. Yeah, the bigger header is also giving you more straw.
Gives a bigger swath, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Uses a thicker, wider swath. 'Cause
it
it's
also saves time because if you have this small header and you have to pick up the straw, it takes ages. It's like making small bales with 2,000 liters.
Please don't get stuck on the hedge with the
What
harvester.
is the default size of bales?
Default square
Is it
bales are
2,000
4,000.
or
4,000.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right. That didn't work. Got the combine stuck. Come on.
You have to drop the head on the other side, pull it out.
Unfold it. Will it let me? Go unfold. Oh. Oh, that's nearly got it. You're right, I'm probably going to have to drop it. Crap. It's not very helpful. Where's the nearest gate into that field? Right there. Damn you, Stevie.
I can pull it out.
Damn you, Stevie, for putting all these hedges on the map. And making them solid. Most of the other map makers make them flipping F-roll. Make them flipping ghost hedges that you can drive through. No collisions. Oh, don't tell me that. I'll pull it. It won't budge. Something weird's happened now. Look, I've broke it.
I think you have to. Oops. Yeah.
I pulled the tow bar off it. I'm gonna have to.
You unfolded it, right?
Yeah, I pulled the tow bar off it now.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. It was 15 meters long.
Come on. Maybe you'll pull now. Now I've thrown you out of the field. This makes for good entertainment, though, don't it, for the kids?
You got it?
Yeah, I got it.
Strong arms.
Strong arms. If all else fails, strong arms. Not leg arms, because he's only got one now.
Oh, the poor guy. I hope he can keep the arm.
Yeah. That's not good.
If this machine squashed his bones like that, might never mend.
Squished bones. Reminds me in the Harry Potter movie when the professor tries to mend Harry's broken arm.
Yeah.
He makes his arm all
It's
bendy
all
and
wobbly.
floppy. Turns it to rubber. It's like, there's no bones left. He's like, well, yes, but look on the bright side. Doesn't have a broken arm anymore, does he? Down to the end. I'm starting on this row because I'm at 84%. Need the pipe out of the crop. Lots of ground, lots of weed. Ooh, somewhere, where's that? It's there. Oh, I forgot to put straw on again. Bugger it. One per field is alright.
Makes my job easier.
One per field is alright. Yeah, but think of all the money we've now lost by me not doing the straw. He says, and then goes and turns it on at the end of the field for no reason. Ah, so used to just turning it off. There's a guy running.
Don't harvest me.
That dude was running. I think we've finished the harvesting. Please get an unload. Nice. Repair it. I think it's more the harvester that needs repair. The header's not too bad. I think it was the harvester that was busted. It's juice drunk. A second pallet of eggies. Hello, chickens. Again, splat. Right. So what are the next crops to plant on those fields? So field 9's fertilised, ready for seeding. Field 3's been fertilised.
Maybe you do mow the alfalfa. I'm seeding field 9 with alfalfa.
I can definitely do that, yeah. Empty this truck of its wheat. Mow the alfalfa. Doo -doo -doo. .360. 360-degree spin. And again. It's slippy round here for some reason. Skiddy. Course. Need to off right. what are we going to make this time out the alfalfa? So, dry alfalfa and alfalfa silage, there's still not a lot between them in terms of price.
Sure.
Still very close.
Yeah. It's exactly the same price. No, €1 less for silage.
I don't get that. Silage I would expect to be so much more. Better then. Ah, he's already got it. That man's a genius. He's one step ahead of me. Which works out brilliantly, unless I happen to be standing on the edge of a cliff. And that's the one time you wouldn't want to be a step ahead.
Yesterday we were standing at a steep cliff. Today we made a big step forward.
Tomorrow when newspaper headlines.
Will it make gender separated swaths? Or fruit type separate?
Yeah. Crop separated types of swath, indeed. Seems to be doing a bit of a mixture. That first row. Schwaff, schwaff, schwaff. Schwaff, schwaff. Swath. Here's the big loading wagon.
I'm starting in the middle, I would say.
Nobody's favourite toy, I think, the loading wagon.
To make sure I get
You've missed a bit.
the right stuff. Yeah, I know.
He's missed a bit already. The
Oh my
efficiency's
God.
gone out the window. Zero efficiency. The yield, the yield. Leaving cash on the ground.
Oh.
How his attitude has changed. Yes, this is exactly the reason why I think now that field 9 is seeded with the alfalfa, I'm going to paint round it. So there's no grass to get in the way when you're mowing it. Nice decorative wood chips or something down, I think. That doesn't get mowed.
Laggy.
Yeah, a little bit framey.
Hmm?
A bit framey for me as well.
Yeah. Also, milliseconds are a little bit up and down. Not terribly bad, but
In the high 50s for me, which is a bit unusual.
50s,
Yeah.
bit high.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in the 30s, below 30s, but it's also jumping up.
I'm in the mid to high 30s,
Yeah, of
but
course I'm full, of course.
I'm
So where
getting...
do I sell it? Where do I sell it? So
Dry
alfalfa,
alfalfa windrow is best price.
animal
Animal
surprise.
surprise.
Animal surprise.
Animal surprise.
Oh, where is it? Where's the animal surprise?
Across the road from the BGA.
Right down. Right down. Oh, yeah.
No, that doesn't live there. That's where the loading wagon lives. I've parked that in the wrong place. Better put it in the right place or someone will tell me off. Someone will be like, act wrong. You've put the loading wagon in the wrong place.
It's already 9:20.
9:20.
It's getting dark.
7, 19:20. Thought you said 9:20. I was like, huh? It's definitely, it's not quite 9:20 in the UK. It's only 10 past, which means it must be 10 past 10 for you. Get rid of the grass first before you'll let me put down anything prettier. Want concrete, but oh, you're not letting me paint there.
It's almost 8. Hopefully the shop is still open.
Should be on this map. Think Stevie's ever put in any kind of opening hours or closing hours on any of his maps. I think he says he finds that annoying when he's playing. He says, I can understand why people do it for realism, but he says when I'm playing a game, he says it's very annoying.
That's it. Jesus Christ.
$115,000. One trailer.
One load.
Alfalfa is worth doing.
There's a building called Lakeland Vale Cattle Market.
Cattle market. I'm guessing you can get cows from there.
Lakeland Vale.
Try again now. Then. Now I've got rid of all that horrible.
You have to make sure we can make food for the cows. Huh?
Is there another wood chip texture by any chance? Only the ones which have flipping stuff growing out of them. Stevie, what you done to me, Stevie? Wood chips.
We have alfalfa in the silo as well.
A little bit in there, have we? From last
I
time.
think with the next load, I take that and sell it as well.
Very good money making day.
Unless the prices drop.
Always make this a bit wider again eventually.
Is there some field left after you finished?
Kind of hoping for. Doesn't help when you start painting a line and then the box jumps over. You get halfway down a row and then the box jumps, so you have to do it like one stage at a time. You press the button and hold the stick forward, it moves around all over the place. The box does. And that's the wrong colour. Slightly darker one round the outside. I painted it with the dark. No, I painted the light one. Where's the dark one gone? One. That's the one. Boggy mud everywhere. Oh, I think I painted over our road. The game needs an undo button. Like the texture. Is it that one?
There's a truck in the way.
Good. Damn it. Now that bit one day.
There's no field left.
Or what I can do, rather on this bit, I'll fix it, shall I? I can fix it.
Oh my god.
That's field 9, isn't it? Right, that should have got rid of all the crops and recultivated it all. And then if I do that, that should hopefully have put it back. Did I fix it? Did I break it more? No, that looks fixed to me. That's restored it back to its
original side.
Original size, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Perfect.
And next time you don't have to be so accurate. I'm getting stutters here like hell. Can't drive straight.
Micro stutters. It's back to about 30 milliseconds now for me, so my frame rate's improved. Can't be all that alfalfa.
Can pay off some loan.
I did 100 grand today. A bit more. 100. That brings us down to 2.3. Get the old grass seed going. Still 10 reseeded grass then.
You want to fertilize it first? Or?
Already fertilised one stage, isn't it?
I don't know.
It being alfalfa. Yeah, field 10's already one stage, so by the time I slap a load of seed and fertiliser on it, it'll be two stage. The new machine's vanished. Somebody's hit it with a truck.
I pushed it in the corner somewhere. Squish. Flat chicken. So chickens, did you see that?
In your
Did you
face,
see the alfalfa cell? That's how to make money. Some bloody egg boxes.
The thing about the cedar is it clears away all the grass that was mowed and left everywhere. £378 billion.
The second egg pallet has started.
Yeah, they've already moved on to the next pallet. The chickens are working hard. You know this time round competition is going to be fierce with Mr. Helgi.
Catch you tomorrow.
Catch you tomorrow then, Mr. Helgi.
Have a good night.
Good night, sir.
Come on, game. Thank you. Takes ages.
Doesn't want to exit. Never wants to exit. Then it reloads. And you've got to exit again. One way of lining up for the next one. Get this road done. Supposed to be able to sleep a bit of the night maybe, unless I quickly want to run some silage down to the BGA, make a bit more money this evening. Job for first thing in the morning. Done now. So fold that up. So what I would like to do is, I wonder if it's possible to make one of these where we've got the two clamps here. Obviously we've been making silage in one of them with grass and stuff. I'm wondering if we could use the other one for making alfalfa silage, perhaps. Putting alfalfa or dry grass alfalfa in there. I wonder if you could code that in the whether it's possible or whether it only accepts one. Because they are placeables on in the map, in the shop. I'm wondering if I could maybe change one. I'd like one set of bunkers as well. I'd like a set of bunkers where we could do compost as well at a later time. Be able to make compost. And I'd need to know what the into the shed, into the shed, into the shed. I think I'm just going to fast forward and make it daytime quick. Careful not to run over any eggs. Oops. It's 8:30, so I need to sleep 10 hours to make it 6:30 by my maths. Right, let's have a look at the old finances. So, money's disappeared. There it is. 64 grand now, the loan, so that's come down another 6,000 bucks because we've paid off quite a bit. That's very nice. 151 grand yesterday from harvesting, 98 grand from bales, 102 grand from sold vehicles, but we bought 320 grand's worth of new stuff. Obviously I've done some painting on the map to get our alfalfa and stuff growing, which we can now go and have a look at, I suppose, in the light of day. That's nice. I got the path around the edge, so when you're doing the mowing and you're flinging your grass everywhere, you're not going to be causing a massive problem. Right, let's have a look then. What we got in the old silage tank? 339,000 bajillion litres. Probably want to empty that then. Take that down to the BGA, which can be the last thing I do this evening. Oh, there's also some silage in here, I think. Okay, I need to pack the truck up. This is going to eat a lot. It's going to be about 63,000 litres left in there. 73,000 litres even. That's a lot. And then obviously need to get fields over here reseeded and replanted. Then have a look, see what contracts are available to us today. See what we're going to be able to maybe look at doing. There's probably a, I don't want to tempt it and say there's a potato harvest, but there should be a potato harvest. Field 28, maybe possibly even field 36 now as well. There should be 2 contracts for potatoes. It's whether or not we want to do them both. On the potato farming, potato harvesting. That could be interesting. Right, 150,000 litres coming in. That said 2169, didn't it? I better still weigh 2169 when I pull off. What you betting? Even after tipping, I better still weigh the same. Yeah. The silage has no weight. In fact, no crops I put in this trailer ever have any weight because I don't like crops having weight because they slow the truck down. Slow the trailer down and I don't like that. Shouldn't have to drive around the map at 10 miles an hour. I'm getting tired. I'm starting to yawn a lot. It's just suddenly hit me. Like, boom. The fact that I've been up since 6 this morning, it's just suddenly hit me like a flipping cricket bat between the eyes. I might not get my second running of silage. I might have to do it tomorrow. Might have to leave it till morning. Might jump on a bit early tomorrow morning before the Formula 1. Get a couple of hours in, maybe, possibly. Hiccups now for some reason. Let's have a look. What jobs are available? We've got fertilising, sowing, fertilising, sowing, fertilising, ploughing, sowing, fertilising, ploughing, sowing, transporting, sowing, harvesting. Field 36 potatoes, 32 grand. Interesting. Fertilising, 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 harvesting, corn, no, fertilising, harvesting, potatoes in field 28. So that's basically 87 grand worth of potato harvesting contracts we could be doing tomorrow. We will see. We will see what tomorrow brings. But for tonight, unfortunately, I've reached that point where I have to say thank you, everybody, for watching. You've been a great audience as ever. I will be back again very soon. But for now, from me, it is goodbye, good night. Stay safe, everybody. Take care of yourselves. See you all soon.